Hi, my name is Oksana Severs and I am given the drawing class for sketch in about 10 minutes long. And to start this class, we need to figure out what we are drawing and what we need to have for this. For simple object, we choose to have a bottle of water, and it is quite like simple enough. It has cylinder shape and consists from two separate parts, bottle itself and cup of this. To start to do sketch, we need to have pencil. Usually sketch you do on your real life when nothing is around and you don't have like normal tools to use. So I grab a simple staple pencil, HB hardness, and simple paper from the printer, A4 format. So to start drawing, first of all, when we observe and figure out that bottle itself has shape of cylinder, have a symmetry line going through the center, and it's a spherical object on the top. It allowed us to make simple shape for this bottle. So to start drawing, you need to have on the paper to have composition placed. Composition usually based on the size of the original object what we have, and when we put it on the paper you see how big it could be. But usually when artists make the drawing, object never come to real size. And this is the reason why when we start we do it a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger. I choose a little bit smaller, and I need to mark shape of the object on my paper and have composition. So we know that object is cylinder, have line of symmetry on the end, have upper part, have bottom part, and based on this, when I measure my object, the widest part, and compare to the highest thing, it shows that it is 2.5. So if I divide by 2 and a little bit less, so this will be my width of the object altogether to compare to this part. So this my object will come to this size. So this is general uh, shape what it will have. It give me composition. I use a regular easel what give me opportunity to have perpendicular view of my paper, and it allowed me to have correct proportion on the drawing. When your picture is laying down, you don't have correct proportion because your eye are close to the bottom part and far from the upper part. Now when I have general shape of my object, I need to divide how much I have for the entire total high part and bottom part. So my high part will have third part of full height. This is my full height of the cup, including the sip portion. All the rest will be cup itself. Now, when I observe my object, the widest point is the widest shoulder of the bottle, and my narrow part of the bottle based on the bottom line. When I look on the object, this is close to me and this is far from me, but this is to the horizontal line, it is lower. So this means that on the bottom I will see more of the circle what I have rather than upper one. So this circle will be bigger, this space, than this one, and based on this circle of the bottom part of the cup I will make cup itself. So now this will be bigger. I don't see, when I look on the bottle, it's quite transparent, but I still don't see in full my base. So what I need to do, if it is my total width, this will be much more narrow, and now I will have circle part here, what will be front, and I will go to make it to the top, and shoulder of the bottle will be on this way, and now I make these lines from the top to the bottom, and it shows that my bottle will be a little bit more narrow. We can make this more visible. Why did I put this? And then I have, this is the shoulder of my bottle what I have, and this is thickness of the line, and bottle itself, it goes spherical on the top, and then I have this SIP part of this. So SIP part is complicated as well, and again, when we start to draw, we simplify it to the way to make objects simple, to make it visible, simple, and then to go to the details. So now when I have this part, I can show that this part will go up, that it has thickness, and it has upper part. Now, this is in general, it takes few minutes to make this sketch, to understand composition on the paper, to find the proportion on the drawing, and have it all together. Now, when we put all together a little sketch to understand the object itself, we can go to the details. And now, when we look on this, again, we can correct what was not really like to the shape, and we make more oval shape for the spherical part of the cup. And when we go to details, you can see I flip the pencil the way how it's much better to hold, and I go to the details right now. So I have this rubber part of the cup, what allowed you, it goes ergonomical because shape is spherical. It has to lean on this to show how it goes and confirm size. So everything is about to prove the shape, and we prove the shape, and you can see that now I start to press the pencil a little bit harder to introduce that this is finalizing of drawing. On the cup here I have some rims, what goes 1, 2, 3, 4 and half here. These rims I will make them in 3D in few minutes. Again, depends how far you need to go with your sketch. If you go about 10 minutes, we can see how much details you can add there. Somewhere bottle is half full, so we can show that it is half full of water, and this circle, what in perspective is oval, will be not so open like that one. So you can see that it's change rotation of the circle to be sure that it goes. Then here I have some grab bars here, some kind of circle here, and again they go by shape. That's why I will see part of them coming out. I need to show the line how it will go, and then you can see these little rubs here. Okay, now we are done with this part. We're done with this confirmation of these little ribs here to allow to rotate top of the cup. And then I go to make shape of the SIP part itself, and you can see it is oval. It goes like oval on the direction like this, and then I need to make shape of this, and I built it, and it goes to the direction, and then I have top part of this, cover everything, and have top built in, and it has rubber on the top. It goes on the direction as well. Pencil is soft enough to press a little bit more and confirm details. Then it goes to this little support part. It's also built in, and it goes to this line there. So what we have this part, what is SIP part here, and if I make highlights, it will make it, when I do highlights I go by shape, how it's organized and how it's built. So construction line goes over the circle here, and I made it here, and because it has own shape, I make this little hatch there. Then rubber, it has own thickness, and I will highlight it with the shape of this circle part. And I have another wing here with another center part. Now you can see that rubber part is covering spherical element of this cup, and I introduce some thickness. Now, when we draw something, we use psychology of human eye. When you try to make it, you don't need to make it complete. Critical to have this first line done in full, and then to have these little elements not continue to the end. It means that when somebody look on this, they will continue with their own line. So drawing should not be completed in full. Give some imagination to the human who is looking on this and observing this. But you need to show structure of the object, and it is critical to have it. Like little elements on the cover of this rubber sticking out from the shape will allow you to have this more realistic and 3D view. And if this cup goes over, and then they have little rim here underneath where thread goes through, it will show you even more realistic part. And again, light shows and light help you to make it in 3D. Now, I don't touch too much light and shadow, but if you decide that light goes from back side and light is parallel, the light goes in parallel lines, then you see that shadow goes parallel to this, and it's where you have your shadow at the bottom. Now, cast shadow is always the darkest part, and when you make it parallel to your center line, and usually you press a little bit harder near the base of this bottle, and it will allow you to have it a little bit heavier and introduced. Line doesn't exist in reality, and when we do this part, we press a little bit harder near the bottle line, and then a little bit lighter on the table line. It allowed us to have these outlines and hatch line in different thickness and introduce them. Again, when you hatch it in one direction. You don't go back and forward. You just make it, and you make it by shape. That's why your cross hatching will be confirmed by building the object. And what happened in reality here, when you have something dark, it goes light on the object, and then it will become harder. And again, when you start to do hatching goes on the direction of the construction line, and because cylinder done with two direction of the construction line, you go to make it circular. And critical, when you go to circle spherical object or cylinder object, you need to make these lines just little piece for you to show how to hatch it. Again, you start from the top. Will be reflection on this side, will be own shadow on this side, so core shadow, how we name it. And you can see that if you hatch fast, it looks like your hand goes back and forward, and in reality it goes only in one direction. Then you have control on the thickness of the line, on the value of the line, and you have control on application of your shadow. So if shadow goes from this way, because it has to be lighten up, glass or plastic, what is bottle made from, it will show you highlight from inside and reflection and all of this stuff. So when we start to work on the object, depends what time we have, we make the goal for ourselves to what is critical, to introduce the shape, or to introduce the how to introduce the shape, because outline usually doesn't help too much unless you are very comfortable to do different thickness of the line. So when you complete this, you can put that it is about 10 minutes drawing. You put your name. For me, when I don't use my sketchbook, I put my name here, and I put day when I made it. And then I have chronology of my pictures, and today is June 15, 2023. It takes about 10 minutes to make this little sketch. So thank you so much for viewing me. Have a great day.